Hey guys, I have a sick kiddo at home, so but it's my turn to do the book discussion. So here I am to do it. Chapter 7 is called "It's the Little Things That Can Throw Off Your Day," and so it's about those things that happen in class, since we teach human children, that make us feel unprepared or maybe throw us off or really frustrate us, and could ruin our day if we don't have a plan in place to take care of them. And so basically it all boils down to having routines and procedures in place, so that one, you either eliminate those problems or to have a plan to deal with them when they do come up. So our author talks about a couple of specific things that she does to just to be prepared for these things. So she says that structuring class in a certain manner gives students something to rely on. And so really a lot of this is just about structure and kids knowing what to expect from you and what they can expect when they're in your classroom. So first of all, starting class in a certain way, and doing it that same way every day, so that kids know when they see or hear this signal, it's time to stop talking. It's time to look at the teacher and be ready for instructions. The author uses kind of a silly phrase. She says, "Okay, class, let's get swiveled," which basically means turn your body so that you're sitting in your chair the right way with your feet under your desk. But it's also their signal to stop their conversations and to give her their attention. And so a lot of us probably repeat some of the same things without even realizing it, but making that an intentional thing where our classes know, okay, when Mrs. Poole says this, it's time to get started. And then from there, she talks her class through their daily agenda, which I know a lot of us use objectives or essential questions. And so this is just pointing to, hey, here's what class is going to look like today. You can expect some time doing this, and this is our goal. And then she talks about during class, whenever she's giving students directions, that when they get more than a couple of steps at a time, they can get really overwhelmed and forget what they're supposed to be doing. And so she breaks that down so that they get, one or two steps that they can handle. And then she also tries to put the instructions either written out on the board or on a handout so that they can see, okay, here are all of the 10 things I need to do. And then Miss Poole is talking about number 2 right now, just to break it down for them. And then I thought this was interesting. Whenever she's doing different tasks in class, she lets students know about how long they should take or about how long she's going to give them for that, so that they know, okay, for problems 1 through 10, I've got about 5 minutes to take care of this. And then when I do this with students, I always let them know, okay, guys, you got about 1 more minute to finish this up, and then we're moving on, so that they know where you're going and what to expect. She also talks about facilitating class discussion. So for me, coming from an ELA classroom, we had class discussions all the time. And it's inevitable that you will get answers that are maybe just flat out incorrect, where you, instead of, no, that's wrong, can take that wrong answer and either probe further with that same student or maybe take that and turn it and move in the direction you want it to go, so that the discussion is still productive, but also that student isn't embarrassed. And then sometimes you may get answers of, well, I don't know. Again, you can follow up with more questions. I know we've talked some recently about those depth of knowledge questions. And so if that level 3 question that you started with, we're not quite ready to jump there, you can back it up and try a lower level question to lead them into that higher level question. And then those responses that are just like a kid trying to be funny or to throw you off track, I always kind of play dumb, like I don't realize that that's what they're trying to do, and take it and just like I would an incorrect answer and turn it to the direction that I want to go. So we can field those incorrect responses or just flat out disruptive responses by moving in a different direction. And then she also talks about closing class the same way every day. She kind of recaps, okay, here's what we've done today. This was what our goal was. And then here's where we're headed tomorrow. And this was kind of interesting. She, keep in mind, teaches high school. And so she always ends her class a couple minutes before the bell rings, so that her students have a minute to kind of decompress from having been through that fast-paced class before they have to go to the next class. But she says, and this is the part that I thought might be helpful, she says that this really prevents students from packing up early because they know that they're going to have time to put their things away because she's going to end class early. Now, I don't know how much that's going to work for 6th graders. If they have 1 minute of unstructured time, that could be not a good thing. She also talks about paperwork, whether that's like documents that we need to keep track of, that we need to have quick access to. She's got an old school filing system, like file folders, alphabetical order, and I'm happy that that works for her. For me personally, that's why Google Docs exists, but having some sort of system for keeping your stuff together, and that includes like student work, and having some sort of system for getting that graded and returned in a timely manner, giving students actual feedback. She passes out their graded writing assignments and lets them look at the feedback, and then she collects them again and keeps them. And I thought this was really cool. Before she does another writing assignment, she gives students their writing portfolios, and so they can see all of the papers that they've written that year and remind themselves, oh yeah, I have trouble sometimes with this particular thing. I need to make sure I really do this well on this next paper. So that was kind of cool. And then the last thing she talks about is homework, which I know for us is maybe not super applicable. But she does talk about for large projects or extended reading assignments, she always gives students a pacing guide and breaks down, okay, for this big project, here are the tasks that you're going to be responsible for. Here's important information that you need to know about this assignment. And here's an approximate calendar, I guess, of when you should have these things done. So on day 3, you should be at about this point. And so I think that might be helpful for some of our students, especially if it's a big thing and it can be hard to focus on that whole project. It might be helpful to break it up that way for them to actually see, okay, here's what the whole thing is going to be, and here's the step that we're on today. So, like I said, it's all about details. It's all about planning ahead, all about establishing those routines and procedures and creating a consistent environment for students so that they feel secure, so that they know what to expect from you and how they can expect your classroom to run. So that's basically it for Chapter 7. I know it was riveting, but that's all I got. So I hope you guys have a great day.